Hi there, Zamario. Thank you very much for watching. This is my Royal Rumble review 2021. Now, as somebody who used to watch wrestling religiously, this was one of my favourite pay-per-views, arguably my favourite. As somebody who no longer watches wrestling anymore, I thought I'd give this pay-per-view a shot to see if how things have changed in the WWE since I last watched wrestling. So there was a match pre-pay-per-view. That was the Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair. This was for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Unfortunately for the latter ladies, they did lose to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, but I didn't see that match, so I can't comment on that match. Now, when the pay-per-view kicked off, the first match of the pay-per-view was Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. This was for the WWE Championship, and I have to admit, and I give a lot of credit to Drew McIntyre because his involvement was fundamental in this match, but it wasn't too bad, and Goldberg looked okay. Ever since the match in Saudi Arabia between Undertaker and Goldberg has kind of become a bit of a joke. He did okay against Brock Lesnar, but recently he's become a bit of a joke, Goldberg and all of that bollocks. But once again, credit to Drew McIntyre for making Goldberg look good. That jackhammer slam was excellent. And it was good to see Drew McIntyre retain without making Goldberg look too foolish, and a good little endorsement from Goldberg at the end. You love that shit. Drew McIntyre won. So we're on to the women's SmackDown Women's Championship, and that's between Sasha Banks and Carmella. So what I've heard from a lot of people regarding Carmella is that she's not a good wrestler, and she's also just recently come back from injury, and she's thrown straight into a title picture. That's all the sort of shit that bothers me. But you know what? I have to give credit to Carmella. She did okay in this match. Sasha Banks is an excellent female wrestler. Sorry, I don't want to call her a female wrestler. She's an excellent wrestler. Carmella isn't, but Carmella did herself a lot of favours in this match. She looked excellent. Apparently these two women have feuded many times. Hopefully this is the culmination of the feud, and Carmella can maybe focus on other people to show that she can work with other wrestlers, not just Sasha Banks, and also have good matches. We'll find out, I guess, soon enough. Well, you'll find out. I don't give a fuck. Okay, Sasha Banks won that match. On to the Women's Battle Royal. Now, the first couple of ladies to come out for this was Bayley and Naomi, and these are two women I do recognise. Naomi more, she's fantastic. So much fucking talent, not enough credit. I believe she was coming back from an injury as well, and they threw her straight in at number 2, so she's starting this. We didn't get to meet somebody who I've never seen before in but Bianca Belair. She came at number 3. My god, she's got long ass hair. I mean, that ponytail shit. I mean, it looks like something you'd see in films and video games, where they're moving their head around like this, and maybe they can use it as a whip and stuff like that. And her hair did come into play when Naomi kind of got eliminated, but her feet never touched the ground, so she wasn't officially eliminated, and she kind of used Bianca's hair to pull herself back in without her feet touching the ground. Clever moment, but sometimes I think these avoiding touching the ground moments get a bit ridiculous, and that was ridiculous with Naomi. We had a lot of legendary divas coming in. One of them was Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox, when she came in, was immediately followed by R-Truth, who was running from somebody or for some sing or some shit like that. He gets into the ring. Alicia Fox pins him in the Royal Rumble and becomes the 24/7 champion. Then she gets eliminated pretty much soon after that, and then R-Truth pins her and becomes the 24/7 champion and runs off with the belt. Stupid, I know. So when we get to near the end of the match, Charlotte Flair is also in this match. We're down to our last 3, and the last 3 happens to be Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and this one bird who looks like a cross between, say, Marilyn Manson and Tim Curry's character from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. These two girls, I'm going to just call her Marilyn. Marilyn and Bianca, they team up on Charlotte Flair, and lo and behold, they, joining forces, they managed to get rid of her. Her being the queen and possibly the favourite to win it at that stage. A good move on their part. And then when it came to them two, they had a good match in the ring. It almost became like a wrestling match, and some near falls and stuff like that. And eventually, Bianca Belair throws out Marilyn, and she wins the Women's Royal Rumble and is on her way to WrestleMania. Well done, sweetheart. Good for you. Don't know who the fuck she is, but good for her. And she seemed very happy, and she was crying about it and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a sweet moment. And she's new blood, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, good. Or even if she's not new blood, if she was maybe like someone like just someone who needs the rub of the green, like a Naomi or something like that, if she hasn't won it before, then that would also be good. Anyways, on to the Universal Championship match. This is between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, and this match was a lot better than I anticipated. First of all, I just want to give a lot of credit to Kevin Owens. This guy can do more than people give him credit for. He has so much in the tank, so much in the locker, that when people see him do these crazy fucking things, they're surprised by it. But why should they be? This guy's amazing. You should never be surprised by Kevin Owens. He can do anything. And in this match, it was a brutal match. Like the way him and Roman Reigns was trying to fuck each other up. Roman Reigns ran over Kevin Owens. When I say ran over, I mean he hit him full on with a fucking golf cart, and Kevin Owens had his back pushed his back right through it. Kevin Owens also got thrown off where the Thunderdome Titantrons are. He got thrown off a high part of that, and he still kept going. But Kevin Owens gave Roman Reigns a taste of his own medicine. He managed to get a forklift truck, and he lifted the pallets of that forklift truck all the way to the top. He then put Roman Reigns, who was on the ground, onto a table, and Kevin Owens climbed up to the top of the forklift truck and did a senton bomb off the fucking forklift truck onto Roman Reigns, who's lying on the table. Fucking beautiful. I live for shit like that. I absolutely do. I love it. And then this is not even in the ring. This is outside the ring. They're all over the fucking place. Eventually, Kevin Owens has got Roman Reigns in a compromising position. He's handcuffed his ass very low down on this podium thing, whatever, and Roman Reigns can't get back on his feet. And Roman Reigns is about to get counted out. It looks like Kevin Owens done it, outsmarted him, but Roman Reigns grabs the referee, throws him into like a ledge sort of thing, which hits his head and knocks the referee out. Now Paul Heyman is able to uncuff Roman Reigns after 20 years, because this segment went on a little bit longer than it should have. But in the meantime, with his free arm, Roman Reigns blows Kevin Owens, so he's incapacitated for a little while, and when he finally gets free, he chokes him out. Another referee comes along, counts out Kevin Owens on the last man standing match. Roman Reigns retains his belt. It was an excellent match. Excellent fucking match. I would love to see these guys have a rematch of this sort of level, this sort of hardcoreness. We're now on to the final match, which is the Men's Royal Rumble. Now, with Royal Rumbles, you're going to get all sorts of shenanigans. And I have to admit, I was kind of worried seeing Edge coming out at number 1. I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, this guy was almost paralyzed, and now he's starting number 1 in the WWE. And when you get older, you don't necessarily get better from your injuries. Sometimes those injuries just become who you are, and you have to maintain it for the rest of your fucking life. But no, fuck all that with Edge. He had these injuries, and he's able to somehow get the green light to get back into the ring and get busted up as much as he did. But he was in that match for a long time, the whole time, as you'll find out. Number 2 was Randy Orton, and obviously those guys' feud goes back for years, and they had some back and forths. Other heel wrestlers came in the ring, all ganging up on Edge, obviously playing the face at this particular time. Edge and Randy Orton go outside the ring, and Edge actually starts working on Randy Orton's leg, so much so that you think Randy Orton's injured himself and he can't participate in the Rumble anymore, and he gets hobbled out by some refs. We get back into the match, and we get some legendary wrestlers returning, like Carlito, who looked in fantastic shape. Rehire this guy. He's a very, very good wrestler, good on the mic, good in the ring, has excellent wrestling ability, and it's from a family of wrestlers. This guy has got wrestling in his blood. Vince shouldn't miss out on people like this. Obviously, Carlito is shooting for the moon a little bit because he wants to be a big time wrestler, but you can't blame him. I mean, when he fucking debuted in the WWE, he pinned John Cena for the US title, and now John Cena's gone and bid the bigger, better things, and this motherfucker is wondering what the hell's he doing. Nevertheless, we had other legends as well, like Hurricane. I mean, Hurricane, almost like, you think to yourself, if Hurricane's not going to be in the Royal Rumble, there must be something wrong, because Hurricane's always in the fucking Royal Rumble and always makes himself look like a joke, and he's getting fatter and fatter, like Kane's getting fatter and fatter. I didn't like seeing Kane in this match. He looked like a fucking, you know when you see killer whales and they got black and red, sorry, black and white. Well, Kane is black and red. He's like a black and red killer whale. He's like a fucking beach, fucking big fat fucking cunt in this fucking. Just get the fuck out of the ring, mate. You're not doing this. This is what happens when you get too old and too over the hill. You end up becoming a joke. And this is fucking Kane. Like, Kane can't keep the blubber off. Just be a mayor, mate. Get yourself involved in fucking politics. Intimidate the fucking small people with your fucking giant size so you can get shit done. But get the fuck out of the ring. I'm glad he eventually got eliminated. When we started boiling down to the last few participants and I see Edge still in the match, I think to myself, I know what's going to happen here. It's obvious what's going to happen here. Edge is going to win. And was I wrong? No, I wasn't. Edge has some backup with Christian, which helped. It's good to see Christian come back in the ring after many years too. Christian looked great as well. Both of these guys had serious injuries, around the neck and head area. So give them credit; they're still doing what they're doing and still doing what they love, and they're legends now. And even though Christian was there to help Edge, eventually Christian gets eliminated. Edge is left in the ring alone. You think he's won, but Randy Orton comes back, and he's not injured. He fakes it. He thinks he's going to do the old switcheroo on Edge and throw him out the ring and become the champion of the Royal Rumble. But no, Edge is too smart for him. Throws him out. Edge is the last man standing. Points to the sign like a dickhead, and he's going to WrestleMania. This is the fairy tale story I did not want. You see, I have no problems with some more mainstays winning the Rumble. I mean, Drew McIntyre was a bit of a left field win, but somebody you think to yourself, okay, he needs that rub of the Rumble just to get him over. Maybe like Braun Strowman, even Seth Rollins to a degree. But fucking Edge, whether he fights Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre, I'm sure they'll have a good match, but it's just not. This is not what gets the juices flowing. He won it 14 years ago. He's won it again, and for the sake of a storyline, when other wrestlers who really need the push should have got it. Was Cesaro possibly going to win it? I think so many people thought he would because of McIntyre winning it last year, but I don't think it's good, to have like somebody you thought would never win it in Drew McIntyre and then do the same shtick again this year. It had to be somebody who needed it, like Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, people like that. Even someone like fucking Otis, but he'd be more of a Drew McIntyre style. And I love fucking Otis. I was gutted when he got eliminated, but not fucking Edge. Oh, this is why I don't watch fucking wrestling anymore. Was it a good Royal Rumble? It was average, I guess. I was falling asleep while I was watching it, so it can't be that fucking great. And, watching this shit made me realise why I don't watch wrestling anymore. It's just so fucking predictable. Anyways, this is my review of the Royal Rumble 2021. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.